a couple of friends of mine were just having this hypothetical conversation. We were talking about, what if we made StarCraft with just one button? No analog stick, no mouse, no keyboard, just one button. How would you do that? Obviously, less units. Obviously, you want to keep it on like one screen. And it becomes kind of like a pachinko table where there's things that are moving. And so you're pressing the button like at a certain time, hold and then let go. So you like charge a unit and let go to do something, and you've got a little stuff streaming by on the bottom of the screen. And I kind of put together ideas like that and then add an analog stick and speed it up by about 1600%, and that's Videoball.
Yeah!
If you touch the ball, you're penalized. You don't want to be too close to it. You want to learn to shoot it from a distance, but you also want to learn to control it. And if the opponent moves it to somewhere disadvantageous to you, now you have to shift, and your partner has to anticipate what you're going to do in addition to what the opponent is going to do.
I've noticed I don't know if you want to call it a trend or not, but I've seen a lot of independent games lately that are taking on that sort of theme of video sports.
Yes.
Things like Sports Friends and Videoball. And have you seen Killer Queen?
Yes, I've played a bunch of that.
Do you think that's a trend?
I have observed as well that it is definitely a sort of a trend.
I mean, were you thinking of that when you made Videoball, or is it just like a coincidence?
The weird thing is we made Videoball just as an idea like 2 or so years ago, and it was just like, I'm gonna have a party at my house, and I have this game in my head that I've had in my head for a long time where it's asteroids controls and you shoot bullets at a ball and you're trying to push the ball into the opponent's goal. It ended up getting a tiny bit more complex than that.
What I like about, I want to call them these games because it's not like you all made them together, but it reminds me like as a kid, like getting like an Atari at a garage sale and like playing the combat cartridge with your best friend for hours. And it's like, it is a very like a communal activity. You get together and just play this very simple game that's played on a single screen, and you're back and forth. They're like Super Dodgeball or something on the NES. You know?
NBA Jam.
When you've got the announcer screaming about touchdowns and slam dunks in your game. Well, not screaming, but
shakalaka. Yeah, we've got a lot of NBA Jam quotes in our announcer. Our announcer is Jen Frank, who did was the announcer for Super Hexagon.
Could you put like it's got to be the shoes in there, even though clearly they're triangles and they don't have shoes?
Yeah, we should probably get that in there. There's a couple. There's Get That Garbage Out of Here is on there, and that's
really.
I think NBA Jam Tournament Edition is a really good reference point because it's a sports game that's sports themed, but it's also. This was at a point when in another area people were trying to make realistic sports games, and there's merit to those. Madden ended up ultimately 3D Madden influenced the way they broadcast football on TV because the cameras. They wanted a camera that can fly behind so you get the Madden view. So it's like you're playing the game because you can see down the field, you understand the game better, and then the games get better and the players get better. But there were other people, and they kind of stopped doing this. They were making sports games that were basically action games. Tecmo Bowl. That sort of thing really interests me, is going back to Tecmo Bowl and thinking about that as an action game, and NBA Jam and thinking about that as an action game.
Well, yeah, even as me as a kid, like I'm not a sports guy. But I love me some NBA Jam.
And Street Fighter was a big deal, but then NBA Jam was like something special. And then NBA Jam Tournament Edition came out for Super Nintendo. My brother's inviting his friends over, and we're all playing it. I don't remember ever going to an arcade again in America after the day we had our big NBA Jam Tournament Edition. We just got the game party. So I think about that, and I think there's a lot of people with common experiences.
Now on Videoball, I know some of these other sports games are and Videoball is too, very concentrated on local multiplayer, but you guys are going to have online multiplayer.
It's most certainly online.
And do you think that's something that's important? Because some people have come out and said, no, we really want people to be together in physical space when they play our game and things like that.
I think being together in a physical space to play the game is absolutely the best way to play one of these games. I mean, I've been playing Titanfall lately, and playing Titanfall online with people, and I'm like, this would be so cool if I had 11 friends who had Xbox Ones and Titanfall, and we could all play it together. Because when you get a bunch of people over and it's just, let's play a game, it takes 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and it's just everybody in the room can, you can have more than 4 people. You can have spectators. We had the little scoreboard pop-ups on the bottom of the screen so that your friends can be like, whoa, dude, you've got 10 points.
So right now, it's PC, but you're also trying to get it on consoles too, right?
It's on PC and Mac, and we are doing a lot of thinking about consoles.
Cool.
So a little bit more than a little bit of thinking.
Well,
a lot more than a little bit of thinking. We're doing a lot more than a little bit of thinking about consoles.
Which is like a normal amount of thinking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it's just right there in the middle.
Yeah, if we're weighing these as integers, yeah, if a little bit is 1 and a lot is 3.
Right.
And wait,
Okay.
a little bit is -1.
Okay. I think my mind just got blown.
I have a really sad story about Hokra.
Do you?
Do you want to hear it?
Of course I do.
We're setting the game up, and a guy's watching us move the characters around to make sure all the controllers are working, because Windows and controllers are weird.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at it for a couple of minutes, just looking at the game, and he goes, "Videoball, huh?" And I go, "Oh yeah." I'm like, oh, clearly this guy knows the name of the game. And then he's, 20 seconds pass, dead silence, and the guy goes, "Weren't you calling this Hokra before?" And I'm like, "Oh no." And I felt really sad.
Oh no.